hell one. Hell one. Bit. Oh, bit. Oh, ooh, I'm betting one. Hell one. Bit. Ooh.
For those of you who might have stumbled across this channel perhaps to get some insight into end times prophecies and news and such, and you turn it on and you hear "and Helen von," I can understand your confusion. That was Fritzie Mossbender, brother of Zeus Mossbender, founder of this channel. Of course, there are those of you who are familiar with Fritzie, but for those who are not, well, that's Fritzie. We let him, that's right, we let him do the audio portions, the beginning intro audio portions of the program. We never know what we're going to get. What you heard there, that's what you got. Ellie and Helen, if you ain't got one, I hope you get one. Now let's get on with it. How you doing there, folks? Slade and Schmulg here. Coming to you from FEMA Region 3. Still a little chilly. I love it. I love winter. You all know that. I'm a reverse hibernator. But we gotta get right down to business here, my friends. I'm telling you, folks. We are the envy. We who live today are the envy of all those folks from years back who was wondering, when's the end gonna come? How can this happen? How can that happen? How can the whole world do this? How can the whole... Well, they're doing it. Right now they're doing it. It's all right here. The technology is here. The entire book of Daniel is pretty much complete. Ain't much more to go. So get ready. Get right with your maker. Seek Elohim while he still may be found. That's right. Because once we're out of here, the restrainer, the Ruach HaKodesh, in English that's Holy Spirit, once we're out of here, smack that, you're on your own. You're probably thinking there's going to be some Christian out there that's going to have some extra hamburger helper. The video here that I'm going to try to put together here, I hope it makes sense. I hope that I don't ramble. It's a video that I wanted to do weeks ago, maybe even months ago. But every time I tried to get on this one, Elohim would say, no, Leighton, you got to do something else. You know, I'd see something in the sun. Mainly that pyramid drive me crazy. And there's more on that as well. I got that coming, you know, down the road. Not this video. At least I don't think. Who knows? Maybe I'll slip it in there somewhere. I got my tambourine, though. Oh, and I got my little egg, too. Your little yellow egg and my tambourine. Shirley, she's going, oh, Shirley. Oh, Shirley. I love you, Shirley. Got everything ready. Just in case, you know, I burst into song or something. We gotta get on with it, get on with it until it comes. Get on with it until it comes. I'm gonna get on with it. Gotta talk about a couple of countries that were perceived to be catalysts for peace in the world at one time. Those days are done because Elohim has decided to fulfill prophecy. Take a look at this.
What could that be? Does that look familiar to anyone out there? It's the logo of a very prominent person that's on the world stage right about now. Who could that be? Whose logo is that? Oh, that's right. It's the Prime Minister of Turkey. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, or as Pastor Paul Bagley might say,
Erdogan, whatever you want to call his last name.
That's right, Pastor, whatever. Now, did anyone out there perhaps think that that was the logo of President Barack Hussein Obama? Oh, look at that. They're very reminiscent of each other, wouldn't you say? I wonder if they consulted together on these logos. They're very, very close, you know, those two. See, look at there. Oh, they both hate Bashar al Assad, that's for sure. And of course, they both hate Israel. Oh, look at her skipping. And here's another nice photo of the two. Hey, wait a second. Wait a second. Let's take a look at that one there in the bottom left. Yeah, that one. Let's zoom in on that a bit. Take a look at that. Oh my goodness. Take a gander at the look on Barack Hussein Obama's face. It looks like he's giving directions to Erdogan. Looks like he knows everything that Erdogan's gonna say right before he directs him to do the Illuminati pyramid sign. Kinda like he does with Angela, Missy Markle. Look at that. They're identical. Even down to the little space past their index fingers. This is just too freaky, people. Or is it just too freaky, people? Oh, my goodness, there's 10 years worth of food for prophetic thought just in that one picture alone, friends. If we could analyze that photo till the two witnesses blow fire. Thank Elohim we won't be around for that. Man, oh man, I gotta move on or I'll just keep staring at the fingers of those bozos. Oh, you got Volt. Now, these two are very close, people. They are of like mind. They're on the same road. And what road could that be? Is there a specific road that they may be on together? Well, I gotta show you a headline, an ultra biblically prophetic headline that'll blow your mind. They think they got plans for Mr. Bashar al Assad. Let's take a look at this. Take a look at that headline, my friends. Obama and Erdogan on the road to where? Damascus. Come on now, folks. Smack that prophecy right there before your eyes. This was written July 17th of 2014. July 17th, 2014. Something else happened that day, my friends. That's the day that Malaysian plane was shot down over the Ukraine. The road to Damascus. Oh, Elohim. And of course, that brings to mind Isaiah Yeshayahu 17. Read it and weep. Read it and weep, Obama and Erdogan. Bosom buddies that have turned on the land of Elohim. Here's the Israel-Turkey relations page of Wikipedia. All right, look at this. Read right along with me, folks. Israeli-Turkish relations refer to the bilateral ties between Israel and Turkey. Israel-Turkey relations were formalized in March 1949 because Turkey was the first Muslim-majority country to recognize the State of Israel. Look at that, folks. The first majority Muslim country to recognize Israel was Turkey.
Turkey.
1 year after they became a state. A little less than a year after the United States, the first country to recognize it. Now look at this. Read along with me, my friends. Read this paragraph. Military, strategic, and diplomatic cooperation between Turkey and Israel were accorded high priority by both countries, with shared concerns with respect to the regional instabilities of the Middle East. According to a New York Times report in 1999, the strategic partnership between the two countries had the potential to alter Middle East politics. Listen to this. Trade and tourism were booming. The Israel Air Force practiced maneuvers in Turkish airspace, and Israeli technicians were modernizing Turkish combat jets. There were also plans for high-tech cooperation and water sharing. Now take a look at these pictures here, my friends. What do you think that is? No, that is not Isaiah Yeshayahu 17:1. Damascus will become a ruinous heap. No, it's not that. You know what that is? It's this. It was a magnitude 7.6 earthquake that hit Izmit, Turkey, August 17th, 1999.
17,127 dead. That was the official number, but many sources suggest the actual figure may have been closer to 45,000 dead. That comes from the Wikipedia page about the Izmit earthquake of August 17th. All right. The reason I show you these pictures is not just to show you pictures of an earthquake. It's to go back to the article, the New York Times article that was used in that Wikipedia page. This was written August 28th, 1999 by Stephen Kinzer, New York Times. Read this. After what has happened since the earthquake, said Hossan Konai, a professor of international relations at Ankara University, that's Turkey. It's going to be very hard for anyone to criticize the relationship. What relationship? The relationship between Israel and Turkey, because Israel was one of the first countries that came to the aid of Turkey because of this earthquake. Let's go on with the article. Even people who have been suspicious of Israel must now see that after the United States, Israel, that's right, Israel has become the country we can trust most. Who can trust most? Turkey. That is now clearer than ever. Look at that paragraph, my friends. There's enough discussion in that small paragraph from here to eternity. A university professor, Hossan Konai, and they're the liberals. The professors in the universities, no matter where you are, they're always somewhat liberal, whatever country you're in, is saying that because of the help that Israel has given to his country, Turkey, because of this earthquake, it's going to be hard to criticize their relationship. And then, according to this here, this professor is saying that Israel has become the country that Turkey can trust the most. And then this.
Erdogan. Erdogan. Erdogan.
That's right, Pastor. The New York Times. The New York Times in 1999 reported that the relations between Turkey and Israel were so good that the two nations could have been catalysts for peace in the entire region of the Middle East. And then him, this guy here. Man, oh man. Look at this. Relations between Israel and Turkey took a downturn during the term of who? Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Israel has lost its second most important ally, a rare friend in a hostile region, and with it a major part of its security since the 1950s when Turkey and Israel established a secret treaty known as the Peripheral Pact. Israel has trusted Turkey as its only genuine regional ally, rain or shine. Now, Israel cannot trust the AKP government to defend Israel. Who is the founder of the AKP government?
Erdogan. 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 Whatever you want to call his last name.
Ow! A Fritzy Pop! The Pastor Paul! Now, did you know, and I did not until I started making this video, that between the time that this anti-Semitic Elohim-hating Muslim nut, between the time that he was the mayor of Istanbul and when he became prime minister, he was in jail. He went to prison. There it is right there, my friends. Erdogan goes to prison. This was written March the 27th, 1999, long time ago. Istanbul's former Islamist mayor, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, has gone to prison to serve a conviction for what? For inciting hatred based on religious differences. What do you know? It was from a speech, because of a speech he made in Sayert nearly a year and a half ago. Oh my goodness, look at here. And here's a very interesting little paragraph. Under a court ruling, Erdogan will be banned from public life forever. Did that happen? Of course not. And will not be able to take part in politics. This was in 1999 they wrote this, friends. Here he's back with a vengeance. Friends of Erdogan, who is interested in poetry, oh yeah, the Muslim Walt Whitman, say he will write a book of poems while in prison. Yeah, right. How do I behead thee? Let me count the ways. There you go, folks. He served 4 months. From March 24th, 1999 to July 27th, 1999. Couple of weeks later, 3 weeks or so later,
Bam! Ha! The earthquake. Ah, Elohim. Little more food for prophetic thought, my friends. Look at that. Very sad. Israel's two most important allies. The U.S., since the very day of the rebirth of Israel. Turkey 1 year later. And you know, it took over 30 years for any other Islamic country to even recognize Israel's right to exist. Egypt and Jordan, the only ones to eventually do so. Now the U.S. is putting out statements like this. And Turkey, due to Erdogan, this. Mm, absolutely disgusting. Now, folks, who put this Antichrist spirit into power, huh? The Father did. He had to. Turkey had to turn against Israel, and not only because of the prophecies recorded in Zechariah, which say all nations will go against Israel, which I believe has been fulfilled, and I'll talk about that later in this video. Elohim had to turn Turkey the other way because that land belongs to Israel. The land that Turkey is sitting on right now belongs to Elohim. Now, some of you might say, Leben, wäre schocken. The promised land did not go that far north. Oh, yeah? Well, check this out, Cookie and Kaku. Look at that scripture. Let's read it together. Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 15, verses 17 through 21. And it came to be, when the sun went down and it was dark, that see, a smoking oven and a burning torch passing between those pieces. On that day, Yahweh made a covenant with Abram, saying, I have given this land to your seed, from the river of Mitzrayim, that's Egypt, to the great river, the river Euphrates, with the Kenite and the Kenizzite and the Cadmonite and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Rephaim and the Amorite and the Canaanite and the Girgashite and the Jebusite. He had given Abram also the land of all these tribes, these pagan tribes here. But there was only one in that group that's highlighted there that was disputed to even exist. You go back into the annals of archaeology and all the archaeologists that studied and stuff, they never questioned or even talked about those other tribes. There was only one that they questioned the existence of, and it was these people. Aha, that's right, the Hittites. They were archaeologically uncovered by Hugo Winkler in 1906. Secular science said they didn't even exist. There is no Hittites. Now let's take a look at a map. There was the land of the Hittites. Let's take a look-see here. Look at there. The land of the Hittites, smack dab between the Black Sea to the north and the Mediterranean Sea to the south. Now what land is there today? What do they call that land today? Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Turkey! Turkey! Smack dab between the Black Sea to the north and the Mediterranean Sea to the south. So you see, my friends, Elohim had to turn modern-day Turkey against the land of Israel because that land belonged to the Hittites, and Elohim said in that scripture that part of the promised land would be the land of the Hittites. Ow! Very good, Fritzy.
I don't think that we could ever enforce enough the idea of how this country, the United States of the Americas, and Turkey were the greatest friends Israel had. That's over. That's over, which means Zechariah 12:3 has been fulfilled. And you want to see how Elohim speaks to this world? He will speak to this world in its language. He will use evil. He will use the stupidity and ignorance of the people of this world to prove that he is Elohim, our deliverer, our rock, our fortress. Let me give you an example of that. Some of you may have seen it. Some of you, it may have went right over your heads. My sister's the one told me about it, so I had to look it up. And I got the clip. It is Elohim telling the world that he has fulfilled Zechariah chapter 12, verse 3. And he tells the world through the auspices of one of the longest running television shows in history, Saturday Night.
Insiders are saying that the Obama administration is extremely upset that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu plans to ask Congress for additional sanctions against Iran, saying that he will, quote, pay a price, which brings the number of countries that have threatened Israel up to an even all of them.
Eat your tambourine. Was that pretty amazing or what? Elohim using that show to prove that all countries are against the land of Israel. You must realize, my friends, that up until as recently as 2003, when that Erdogan took power, that Turkey and Israel were trading partners. They was allies. They were doing military maneuvers together. The Israeli Air Force could fly and use Turkish airspace. Then that idiot came in, Erdogan, 5 years later. 5 years later, Barack Insane Obama comes to power here in the United States, and that's it. All nations at that point are against the land of Elohim. Zechariah 12:3 is fulfilled in this day. It's all fallen into place like a perfect puzzle. And now I gotta move on to something that might disturb some people. It's disturbing what I'm gonna talk about now. I made a video back some time ago. I'll put the date up there when it was in the picture, so you can go find it and watch it. It was called an End Time Potpourri. And within that video, I showed something that was being built. Something that was being built 13 and a half miles away from what we call the White House. 13 and a half miles away is another White House. If you recall, this group, this evil group, ISIS, they claimed that they were going to fly their flag, the flag of Islam, over the White House, or in the White House, however they said it. Well, they've doubled their opportunity, and let me show you why.
Here we are, my friends, on good old Google Earth, and we're gonna zero in on a little area that I'm quite familiar with. It's called FEMA Region Number 3, and we're gonna go to a little area, a little town called Lanham, Maryland, and two particular streets, one called Good Luck Road and the other Elvish Lane. Let's go. Thank you, Fritzy. And we're going to focus on a little patch of land right here. Oh, look at that. What do you know? A little patch of land that's shaped just like a pyramid. I gewalt. All right, you ain't seen nothing yet, folks. At this time, at the time of which we speak, something is being built on that patch of land. Let me show you what that is. That's a mosque, my friends, built on a patch of land, shaped like a pyramid, with, what do you know, an all-seeing eye, smack dab right in the middle. And it's not just any old mosque, my friends. It is going to be the grandest example of Islamic architecture in the Western Hemisphere. It's in FEMA Region 3, 13.5 miles from the other White House. Because as you can see, this complex here looks pretty white. All right, now, my friends, I want to go back to this picture here, the parcel of land, this Google Earth image, and I want to point out that the reason that you don't see any mosque on this Google Earth image is because this image was taken in October of 2012. They had not yet begun construction. That began in 2013. We're going to get into that in a bit. I also want to point out in that article that it said that it would be completed in October of 2014. Well, that didn't happen. But that was the proposed completion time, my friends, October of 2014. Now, I said before, somehow or another, I'll bet the sun was going to end up in this video. Well, here you go. Because I remembered that I saw that pyramid on the sun. It was October. It was October 17th, 2014. Look at that. Look at that. This is a harbinger. I've seen so many things from this one pyramid in the sun. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, come on. In October of 2014, I see what looks like a perfect pyramid with an all-seeing eye on the sun. The perfect pyramid is pointing to another part of the sun that just happens to look exactly like the Western Hemisphere. And here we have a parcel of land that looks like a perfect pyramid with an all-seeing eye on which will be built a pagan temple considered to be the largest where? In the Western Hemisphere, and purported to be completed in October of 2014. What the heck, people? That's crazy. Do you know that I have made 5 other videos in which that pyramid on the sun of October 17th has been integral? And those signs are just as compelling as this. All right, now I'm out of breath. At least I didn't get phlegm. And I finally got to use the word integral in a video. All right, we're moving on. Gonna get on with it. Folks, there was such an outcry, an outrage, over the building of the proposed mosque at Ground Zero in New York. But there's not a peep out of anyone about this pagan garbage dump that's less than 30 minutes from the nation's capital. I even went to the website of the company that designed and is building it. And guess what? There's no mention of the project. Why in the world would they keep it off their website? There's nothing. It doesn't make any sense. It's not like it's a strip mall. Look at that thing. You'd think they want to tout such a grandiose thing they're working on. Or maybe they don't want you to know what's coming. You know, like Obamacare. Like what Pelosi said. We got to pass it before you know what's in it. Something ain't right here, folks. I don't think they want you to know it's even coming. Then I got to thinking, is this demonic thing even real? So I got my little Polish friend Shaul to call the police and ask about the building's progress. They actually gave him a direct number to the construction site. So Shaul called and asked when it would be done. The person said, who are you with? So Shaul says, well, I don't live too far away. I'm just interested in when it will be accessible to the public. So the man got real quiet, according to Shaul, and he said, real quickly, early spring. Early spring is what he told Shaul when it would be done. Well, early spring is coming up real soon, folks, along with a total solar eclipse of the sun and the third blood moon on Passover. So I called myself to see if there is an opening date. I called the same number as Shaul did. They answered. I asked when it would be complete, but before I could even get the full question out, the person was very abrupt and said, I don't know about that. Then he got quiet and he said, maybe summer. What's going on here, folks? Now it's purportedly summer. All right, folks, now I got something for you. This is really going to rock your world. This is the major reason why this thing could be really prophetic. You'll never guess. Or maybe you will. Who came to that pyramid-shaped parcel of land in FEMA Region 3 on May 15th, 2013 to place a ceremonial stone at the site?
Erdogan. Erdrogan. Erdogan.
Ha-ha, that's right. Can you believe that, folks? Him. And why him? Because this entire project is being paid for, not by American Muslims, but by the APK government of Turkey. Oh, yeah. What's going on here on Good Luck Road, people? Why is there no press on this? Where are the Christian voices? Why is there no outcry? Why is there no outcry against the building of the largest mosque in the entire Western Hemisphere by a foreign Islamic government less than 30 minutes from our capital? Is this going to be an arm of the caliphate? Walid Shubat. And he knows what's going on in the Islamic world. He has reported extensively that the next caliphate will not be Iraqi or Jordanian or Pakistani or Iranian or Saudi Arabian or Syrian or Libyan or Lebanese or Yemeni or Omani or Kuwaiti or Qatari or Sudanese or Afghani. It's going to be Turkish. Now who and or what is this mosque being prepared for? Erdogan himself comes here for the groundbreaking. And then there's this man, a Turkish imam, Fethullah Gulen, who actually lives in FEMA Region 3, about 3 hours away from this mosque in Saylorsburg, Pennsylvania. Let's check out what this guy's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, this man lives in FEMA Region number 3, in a gated compound. Apparently this man is very wealthy. Look at that, what that says up there. How a man in Pennsylvania's Pocono Mountains is causing chaos in Turkey.
Turkey.
And read this little sentence right here. Imam Fethullah Gulen lives in the Poconos, but he's one of the most powerful men in Turkey. He's a religious scholar with grandfatherly looks and often poses for pictures with books behind him. If you're not familiar with Turkish politics and religion, chances are you wouldn't suspect he is one of the most powerful religious figures in the world. And he lives in FEMA Region number 3. Man, oh man. Here's another one. U.S. charter schools tied to powerful Turkish imam. Over the past decade, followers of the mysterious Turkish cleric Fethullah Gulen have opened scores of charter schools in the U.S., inspired by a man who is as powerful as he is reclusive. Who is this guy opening schools all over this country? And here's the one that really caught my eye the most. Where do you see this? Imam Fethullah Gulen accused of attempting coup against Turkish Prime Minister
Erdogan. Erdogan. Erdogan.
That's right, Pastor. They are against one another. They used to be allies. They was friends at one time. They partnered in this AKP government, but no longer. They are now enemies. I wonder if that's his mosque. Who knows, maybe he's just sitting up in this gated compound, in the Poconos, no less. Maybe he's sitting in one of them big champagne glasses, you know. All I know is this guy's out there, and they're building a $100 million mosque 3.5 hours away from the gated compound of one of the most powerful religious figures in the world. Stew on that a while. And while we're on the subject of FEMA Region 3, look at that headline. Military surveillance blimp takes to Maryland skies. And here's another. Cruise missile spotting balloon rises over Maryland. What the heck is this? What is this? It's a big white thing. Like that mosque. Maybe this is to protect that mosque. Ay, Gavolt. And I gotta tell you, I've seen it. Folks, I live in FEMA Region number 3. I live in the bluest of the blue states. with Ms. Mikulski, who I'm sure will be showing up for the grand opening of the Turkish American Cultural Center. That's the name of that place. Yeah, there you go, Bob. There you go, Babs. Enjoy yourself. Maybe you can speed up the Sharia. And you know, other than one little story on Fox News, nothing. Nobody's talking about this thing, this cruise missile spotting balloon. Supposed to be protecting this country. I'm telling you, folks, very suspicious. Very suspicious. It looks like a blimp, but that technically means it is an aerostat. This giant balloon-like device, the size of a football field, will soon keep watch over the nation's capital and a huge swath of the eastern seaboard. What are they watching for, my friends? What are they watching for? Cruise missiles. But I've seen them balloons. I've seen them up in the sky. Cruise missile spotting balloons. What are they waiting for? They waiting for something coming? Something's coming, daddy. Something's coming, all right. His name is Yeshua HaMashiach, and he's coming in the clouds for his bride very, very soon. Maranatha. Maranatha.
Well, that's it, my friends. I gotta head along. Gonna close the video with an upcoming events calendar. There's so much. I'm just gonna list it. Put some music on. Music written by my little Polish friend, Shaul. Other than Fritzy Moshbender, some of the music you hear in the background of some of the videos was written by little Shaul. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna do that right now. Keep watching. Keep praying. Keep looking up. And one more thing. Zip, zip, zip.